welcome back. Again, bad camera angle. It's still blurry footage. A few minutes before I have to leave for work. I've learned nothing from last videos, haha! But I have written a script, and I am feeling better. So, let's get this done. Blurry footage and all. Welcome back to the channel. It's officially spooky season. Hello, spooky season. Just to be fully transparent, I did feel like garbage in a good bit of this video, so there are gonna be times where there just isn't footage, sadly, and I am really trying to improve it, believe it or not, on the video qualities of my YouTube videos. It's just not being great with my phone camera being broken, so all I have is my iPad, which we make work. It's not well, but we make it work. Hopefully next video there'll be more videos and I should be over this sickness by then. But anyway, on to the video. Today we're going to do Sam from Trick or Treat. I'm going to try and do it like a Skullector, but unlike the Pennywise doll that I just finished, there is no doll to come as close to the real idea is.
Look, nothing.
So it's just my concept art. Full disclosure, a lot was changed from the concept. It was mostly because of how I felt during the build of this, and I also did a bit of research on Skullector dolls, and the conclusion of the research is that they have an outfit, a pair of shoes, and then a max of 2 accessories, and the 2 accessories is pretty much pushing it, and that includes their purse and whatever other other little trinkets they have. Gosh, why is that so hard to say? So a lot of the stuff in the concept art did get scrapped, but I did get the stuff for it, and I will be trying to make mini-me a version specifically of the big poofy coat because I really liked that. So nothing will go to waste, or none of the ideas and concepts will go to waste. It will just happen on a different doll. Speaking of the doll, starting with it, I would have liked to keep a consistent of one doll brand, but I have a stockpile of perfectly good dolls, so I did dig and found a new addition to the stockpile, which is this Ellie Forever doll, the dolls from Disney who dress up like Disney bounding dolls. This one happened to be the Bambi one, and I had just gotten her, so I thought this would be perfect for that. I wanted Sam to be shorter and a bit more plump, so I took a hacksaw and chopped off bits of the legs. It was pretty successful. It wasn't entirely even or anything, but I hot glued the bits just together until I could get epoxy on it. Unfortunately, I do not have epoxy sculpt like other doll customizers, so I'm actually going to use plumber's epoxy, and it sort of worked. It's not the best. I do wish I had gotten epoxy sculpt, but, well, you know, live and learn. We gotta get through this plumber's epoxy first, and then maybe we'll see. While it was okay, it didn't turn out the smoothest. I blame Indiana for that, but I'm sure it was also partly my fault. So, off camera while I was resting, I took some Sculpey and just smoothed out everything. And it doesn't have to be perfect because she is going to wear tights. That was always kind of the backup. So it wasn't going to be like perfectly smooth. So she was always going to wear tights. So it would cover a lot of the not smoothness of it. Speaking of Sculpey, while we have that out, we're going to talk about the head. Sam has this pumpkin skull head. And let me tell you, this Illy head is rock solid. That is no lie. I had to have my dad try and help me pull the head off this doll after heating it up, and it just would not. He gave up. So there was no doubt it would be fine with a little heating with some Sculpey on it. After I took all her hair off, I got to sculpting. I did this in 2 waves. First, adding the eyelids and the fleshy bits around the eyes, and a quick bake to save the progress, and now onto the main chunk of sculpting. And I tried to just copy the shapes off of a reference photo that I had on Pinterest. And like always, the Pinterest boards for all the dolls I create will be in the description if the boyfriend remembers to do that. Love you. Okay. After finishing baking, and while the head is still warm, there is this weird spot that I have found where Sculpey is still, it is fully baked, but it is a bit squishy. So be very careful. I would not recommend doing this, but I've done it before on some other things. Not a doll, but I've done it before. But I ended up taking the freshly, really hot epoxy sculpted head and putting it back on the body, and thankfully it worked. And I let it cool. Like after that, you just don't touch it and you let it fully cool down. It worked. There was no significant cracking, no big chunks falling off. It was fully cooked. So we got lucky on that one. And then while I was also having the plumber's epoxy out, I ended up putting a magnet in her head because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do hair or not. In the concept, I had this really cool idea for like a stem ponytail. It doesn't end up working. I did make it and it just doesn't look good. So the hair eventually got scrapped, but she does have a magnet in her head for whatever reason now, because I thought magnets would be the easiest way to attach the ponytail, but it just didn't work. But you know, you live and learn. Now onto the outfit, and I'm so sorry. This is actually where I started to get sick. So no sewing this time, but I can point you in the direction of the Pinterest board, again, where all the idea outfits came from. I had 0 orange fabric in my stash, which I was flabbergasted at. So I had to go thrifting, and a girl is cheap. I like cheap, and I also like to not buy a lot of fabric that I don't particularly use. So if I had an orange, I was probably not going to use orange. So I ended up finding a sock, and that was basically the base of the dress. So with a little sock goblin magic, it turned into a dress. And the edges, I went for some embroidery thread to give it like a scarecrow look, because I think that would work really well with the burlap. And I think it ended up doing really well. Her stockings are actually supposed to be the jacket lining, which I ended up cutting for previous reasons stated. But I still wanted to use them because it wasn't a very iconic scene and I really loved the look of them. And it's where, I want to say, I think it's the bus driver's house, and there's this pumpkin flaming up and he's written trick or treat over all this wallpaper. So looking closely at it, the wallpaper had little floral designs on it. I'm not sure what fashion trend that was, not fashion trend, but house trend that was in, but I tried to find something that would mimic the small florals, and I ended up finding a diaper cover that had the same small floral patterns in doll size, which ended up working really well. I was really pleased with it. And I ended up just writing with puffy paint, trick or treat, give me something sweet to eat, over and over and over again until the words basically became nothing. But I really think they turned out really cool. No.
Too late.
No!
What?
Okay. I was in the bathroom and the dogs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Well, I mean, I tried. I texted, and I called.
Okay.
That's just the way it has to be.
They went
I
to
ended up
prom.
giving you a chocolate shake.
Huh?
Do what?
What'd you say?
I said I should be home in just a shake.
Okay.
But I got you a chocolate shake.
Yes! Okay, thank you.
I didn't get Izzy anything. Yeah, because I didn't know what he wanted.
He likes strawberry. Or vanilla. He's a basic bitch.
Uh,
That's okay.
well, I texted him. He didn't answer back either, so.
Isaiah, you didn't get your text? This is a problem with him.
Well, I didn't see that.
Your phone's being weird.
You can't yell at him. You didn't yell back. You didn't text back either.
I know.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
that's a good point.
That's nothing. Okay, bye, Dad. Don't
Alright.
spew logic in here.
That's a good point, Katie.
It was Brahms. The last icon of any Skullector is the shoes, specifically item platform heels or just figure heels. I don't actually know what they're officially called, but you know, of course the shoes, the thing I spend the most money on. Thank you, Macari. Not sponsored, but you know, I just refuse to buy new things in, of course, the most fashionable trash panda style way. Thank you, raccoons, my spirit animal. And so I ended up finding these like skier leader? No, these cheerleader shoes from Skylar, I believe they were. And I painted them orange off camera because, no, I actually painted them orange on camera, but off camera I chopped off the heels, and I had from series 1 Halloween mini brands, I had the pumpkins that you put on the clear things for like the little cloche. So I had 2 of those, and I just chopped them off and stuck them on the heels. And I did go back in for the second round of paint just to make sure everything flowed really well. But yeah. But of course, we always had to have some sort of blood sacrifice, so I got a blood blister on my finger from the scissors, and of course it's blurry, but still there, so there is a blood sacrifice in a way. Moving on from the heels, the one thing that I did totally off camera, unfortunately, was I had my dad print out a 3D printed Sam's lollipop that he uses as pretty much a dagger, where he just takes a bite and goes to stabby town. And I was tired of sculpting, and I didn't want to get out the resin, so I thought 3D printing it would be the best way to do it. It actually ended up really cute. It is a bit fragile compared to, well, I guess it's more sturdy than if I had done it in clay, but probably not as sturdy as if it would have been done in like a resin. So it's kind of just a middle ground, but I think it looks really nice. And finally, the last thing, which I'm going to count as her second accessory, is going to be her burlap bag. The burlap I had on hand unfortunately had a wide weave, so it ended up like just smushing the weave together until it was okay enough. Unfortunately, it only was able to go so far before it just started unraveling, so I had to do like 4 smaller pieces and sew them into one decent sized piece. And after that, I took some fabric glue, and I had these little doll-sized buttons I found while Joann's was closing, so I was really excited to be able to put those on and use 2 black ones for this. And then while the burlap was shredding, I ended up taking 2 fiber strands and just gluing them on for a little effect. And while the burlap was out, I also ended up sewing on, Sam has these little fingerless gloves that he wears. I ended up using actual burlap for this. Unfortunately, I think it's not the best because it is so small, and I did have to like hand weave all this stuff that they are starting to shred, so I think they are unremovable, unfortunately. Nothing in this doll is removable, which really sucks, but again, I don't think this particular doll you would want to be switching outfits on, because she is just such a weird proportion, because she's smaller than like an Illy doll, and like she has wider hips or she has like different sized thighs and legs, so I don't really see her getting redressed a whole bunch. So yeah, wrap up time. Honestly, I really wanted to do more, but I am very happy with how she turned out, even if we didn't get the hair. I don't think she needs it, and who knows? You know, a bald doll is just as good as one with hair, and I think she really doesn't need it, because I think she looks really cute without it. I think she turned out really cute, and I love everything about it, even though I wish I could have done more, but I am happy with what I did. Also, a huge thank you to my boyfriend for finishing this puzzle that I bought that I thought was a poster, and it has taken him over a month and a half to finish it. But thank you so much. On to more exciting news. Because I was trying to think of something to do for like Halloween, and I think I have decided to hold off on posting these guys for sale, and I'm just gonna try and do as many Skullector dolls as I can, and then October 31st I'm gonna put them all up for sale, just because I think that would be a fun little Halloween thing as like a first channel celebration, not something super spooky, but also has a little spook to it. Also, on a side note, I wrote this in here and I agree. Monster High, Skullector, can we please get a Sam doll? I think that would be like so perfect. We have what, like Emily now, and then the three Sanderson sisters, which aren't really like horror themed things like Pennywise, but I think this would be such a fun thing to see because he does have that such unique skull. I would love to see what Monster High would be able to do with it, with like actual pros. Not just a little girl with her little sculpting tools going, I think I can do this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sorry that there's not a lot of photos of them. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll be tackling another spooky doll. Bye!